A user performs an R3 transaction. Many authorization objects are checked that arise through work areas called in the background. Now, for authorization checks to be successful, the user must have appropriate authorizations for the transaction code. Otherwise, he or she will end up getting authorization errors. Now, many times, because we don't maintain the check authorizations, maintain the authorizations properly, and users may end up getting more authorizations than necessary, which in turn means increased maintenance for you as a security administrator. Now, authorization checks, when a transaction code is executed, authorization checks are carried out wherever there are specifically they are written into the source code of the transaction using the authority checks statement. Now, with SU24, you can set the check indicators to exclude certain authorization objects from authorization checks. What it means is that if you from check maintain, if you make it check, or you make it uncheck, those objects will not be checked for authorizations. You can exclude particular authorization checks either in specific transactions or system-wide without changing the program code. You can exclude an authorization object for specific to a transaction code using the check indicators in SU24. So if I go to SU24 and SU01 and say check indicator, change the check indicators from check maintained to, let's say, uncheck. What it means is that whenever SU01 executed, for example, this object is needed for assigning roles along with s_user_PRO and AUT. Now, what it means is that if I do a check maintain, like if it is check maintained, this object is needed for SU01 to assign roles. Now, if I do it, let's say, not maintained for s_user_AGR, what it means is when I try to assign SU0 transaction code in SU0, assign roles in SU01, system is not going to look for this object. System will treat as if this object is not needed at all, even though the program for SU01 contains an authority check statement for s_user_AGR. But because of this check indicator, you're telling the system this object is not needed. So the authority checks are not made. The authorization checks are not made for this object. Now, this is at a transaction specific level, meaning if you want to disable a particular object from authority check, then you have to go to each transaction code in SU24 and do the maintenance for either uncheck or check kind of thing. Now, this is at an individual transaction code level. But if you want to do it at a global level, meaning no matter which object, which transaction code needs that particular object, if you don't want that object to be checked at all in the system, no matter what transaction code it is, then you can use the transaction auth_switch_objects to disable authorization checks at the system level. So if I go to, let's say, so I want to disable user_AGR from globally, no matter what transaction code need this object, you don't want it to be checked, and you want to disable it, then you can disable it here using the transaction auth_switch_objects. Now if I generate it, okay, I'm going to save it first. See, your switched off basis authorization object starting is, however this object will almost be remains switched on. So this is a bad example. So this is not a good example. But anyway, for example, let's take this. Is it check back again? Okay. Now let's go and take another example for, let's say, go to SU24 and let's take a VA01. So technical objects and HR objects cannot be unchecked, okay? You cannot uncheck them, they're always needed. So any object that begins with S underscore or P underscore, then they are needed. Now for example, M8 VA01, okay, let's say F underscore FICA underscore fog. You want to disable it globally. So VA01 needs it. Let's say if VA02 also needs it, for example. That doesn't need it. Okay. Let's take okay, let's go and check for the object VBAC VKO. Now VBAC VKO is check maintained here, and let's say we go to VA01 again and see if that object is there. Okay, VBAC VKO. Now let's say V underscore VBAC VKO is needed by VA01 and VA02. So if you want to use SU24 to disable them, then you have to do it for both the transaction codes. Now let's go and disable it globally and see what happens. So VBAC VKO should be in sales and distribution. So let's go and check that. Let's go and check VBAC VKO in sales and distribution. Okay, where is it? Here. And here it is. No, VBAC VKO. Here. So let's say we disable it and save it. So what happens is any transaction code that needs this object, for those transactions, this system will not check for this object. So let's go and check if what happens in SU24 now. But before we go that, let's go and generate this changes. Okay, now let's go back to SU24. Go to SU24 and now let's go and check that what happens in this check indicator settings. Okay, now here it says object globally switched off, meaning this object is not needed, will not be checked when you put this transaction V802 in a role. Now let's see, this object was also needed by VA01. Let's see what happens to that transaction code. Okay, for this also the object has been switched off globally. So instead of using SU24 individually on each transaction code, what we did was using auth underscore switch underscore global transaction, we basically disabled this object for all transaction codes, which in some cases could be good and in some cases may not be good to do. So you want to switch it back again. So you go to the transaction code one more time, go to sales and distribution. See, it is yellow, meaning that it's been modified, and this is in pinkish color. Check that box again and save it and generate it. Let's go to SU24 one more time. Go and look at the check indicator. Now it's gone. So if you want to disable the relationship between object and a transaction code on an individual basis, then you use SU24 to do that, or maintain the check indicators. If you want to disable at a global level, system-wide level, or disable an object from author being checked for any transaction code, then you use the transaction auth underscore switch underscore objects. Now, in SU24, you maintain the check indicators, like we have seen. Now, what this basically contains is, in SU24, what you indicate is that which checks are performed, what is maintained in the profile generator, and what does the profile generator propose, meaning what objects will appear in the profile generator automatically with what values. Now, that depends on what are the check indicators in SU24. So you basically have 4 statuses, check indicators. One is no check, unmaintained check, and check maintain. And check maintain, you can also, with the objects which are check maintained, for those objects you can also maintain the field values, which will be defaulted into the role, in the profile generator. Now, check indicators determine if an authorization check will run within the transaction or not. Now, as of WAS 640, the following check indicators are supported. So in WAS 7, for example, you don't have these check indicators anymore. What you have is yes or no kind of indicators. So you either say yes or no for a relationship between the object and the transaction. But as of WAS 640, let's say as of version R3 version ECC 5.0, as ECC 5.0, which is based on WAS 640, that is Web Application Server 640. These are the 4 check indicators which are supported. No check. The no check means the no check is performed against corresponding authorization object in the transaction code, despite being programmed authority check command. This indicator cannot be set for HR and basis transaction or authorization objects. That's what we tried to do with s_user_agr. When we tried to globally disable it, the system did not allow us to do it. So because that's a basis authorization objects. So you cannot manipulate or change the check indicators for objects which are related to HR as well as basis. So no check means no check is performed. So any other object is fine, but not the HR objects and basis objects. So when it's no check, when the check indicator is set under no, and no check is performed. Unmaintained. So a check is performed against the corresponding authorization objects in this transaction code. When the check indicator is set to check for an authorization object, a check is performed against the corresponding authorization object in the transaction. Maintenance in the profile generator is not supported. What it means is this object, the objects which are checked, they will not appear in the profile generator, that is in the role, automatically. Now, example of this, one of the example objects for this is s_spu_dev. Now, against this object is checked in almost all transaction codes, because if you have an output and you want to print that output, then this object is needed. but this object doesn't come into the role automatically, but because you may print the output or may not print the output. So if you don't print the output, then this object, even if you don't have this object in the role, doesn't matter, because the activity or the task which this object does, you're not doing it. But if you're printing the output, if you want to print the output, then this object is needed. So in almost all transaction codes, when you go to SU24 and look for any transaction code, this object will be under checked. The tick mark will be under checked. So in the profile generator, however, it is compulsory to handle the print authorization for each transaction code as new. So s_sp_dev is a classic example for check indicator, because it is needed only when you try to print it, otherwise it's not needed for the transaction. Check maintain. Any object that is check maintained, that is, there is a tick mark under CM, those are the object against which the transaction, the authorization checks are made by default, meaning those objects are needed. Now, when you insert a transaction code into the role, whichever objects are check maintained for that transaction, those objects will automatically come into the profile generator. And for these kinds of objects which are check maintained, you can display and change the default values. If some SAP default values are missing, security is most often the reason. These missing values cause the administrator to post-process the authorizations profile. Yellow and this is basically with the objects with yellow and red traffic light. But check maintain are the objects which are check maintained. Those are the ones which are absolutely deemed to be needed by the transaction, and these objects, that's why these objects come into the role automatically with whatever values or default values you have maintained in SU24 for each object. Now, before the authorization profile is generated, now you have to use the control check indicators to control which objects appear in the profile generator and which field values are displayed. That is, in SU24 you have to do the maintenance before you generate the profiles. Now, profile generator only creates authorizations for an authorization object if the check indicator is set to check maintain. So that means, what it means is the objects, only those objects which are check maintained in SU24, only those objects will appear in the profile generator when you work with the roles. Now, if you change the field values in SU24, these values are distributed by the profile generator as new defaults during the role maintenance. So whatever values you have in SU24, you manipulate them and change it to manipulate them by adding values or removing values from the default list. Those changes will get reflected in the profile generator. Now, these changes affects all roles for which the transaction is in the menu, and the authorization values are read again. So when you go to the authorization tab, you will see in the expert mode, you will see read old status and merge with new data. When you do this, the new values, the changes that you make in SU24 authorization values, those values will appear in profile generator. Now, this is the case regardless of whether the changes in the role is for this transaction code or different transaction code. Now, authorization objects from basis and HR, that is any object that begins with S and any other object that begins with P underscore or P log can be excluded from the checking, because these failed values from these objects can always be checked. So these values, the objects which begin with S and which begin with P underscore and P log, these objects, the check indicators for these objects, you should not be changing, because these objects are always checked. Now, what is the best strategy for role maintenance in the profile generator? Now, when an object is needed for a transaction code, when you get an authorization error, when the user gets an authorization error, you basically have two choices. The first choice is, whatever object is missing, you insert that missing authorization object into the role manually. Or, if the values that are brought into the profile generator aren't what you want, you change them, because depending on the business processes. Now, the second option that you have is, if an object is missing from in the role, and when the authorization error comes up because of the missing authorization, you can link that object to the transaction using the transaction SU24, that is by maintaining the table USOBT underscore C. Now, that is the first case, where the objects are missing. In the second case, where you have, the values that are brought into the profile generator is not what you want, you basically change them. Now, if that is the case, if the values brought into the profile generator aren't what you want, then instead of you making the change in the role, what you could do is, you can change the values in SU24 for the transaction code. Now you do this only if all the roles that have that transaction code needs the same values. Or in the transaction code SU24, you blank the values for that object. If that is, let's say SU01, okay, if you look at SU01 and let's say PFCG, both roles need S underscore user underscore AGR, okay, PFCG and SU01. Now, as for your business requirements, you may have multiple user administrators, which means the values for SU01 would be different, and the values for PFCG would be different. So in that case, it is a good idea to blank the values out for S underscore user underscore AGR, so that when it comes into the role, it comes with no values and you can maintain your own values. And the third option is, if the values are not needed, if the values that come into the role are not what you want, the third option that you have is to inactivate the object in the role and manually insert that object into the role again and maintain the value with what you need. Now this should be the last option. The option of inactivating the object should be the last resort. But the good practice would be to either do one of these: change the values in SU24 or blank the values in SU24 for the object. Now option 1 works, but for improved supportability with less risk, option 2 is preferred. So whenever you if there is a problem with an object, you basically do the maintenance in SU24 first. Now the problem could be because the object didn't come into the role automatically, or the object did not come into the role with required values. The idea is you should not avoid object maintenance in profile generator. The object maintenance, whether it should be done in SA24, so that whatever changes you make in SA24, it gets reflected in the profile generator, and you have less maintenance to do in profile generator. Now, the advantage of doing maintenance in SA24 is that it reflects whatever changes you make, they get reflected in all the roles where the particular transaction code appears. Now let's take an example of SU24 and understand. So in SU24 and SU01 and understand what we mean. Now in SU01, we entered SU01 in SU24. Now when you insert SU01 into the role, the objects that are check maintained, they will be pulled into the roles when you add or delete T codes into the menu, or force a read old stator and merge with new option and when you try to maintain the authorizations. Now when you hit the field values button, you will see the defaults just as they will come into the role. So when SU01 in this case is put into the role, into the profile generator, s_user_agr will come with 03 and a blank field value for activity group. s_user_ut will come into the role with 03 and 08 by default. s_user_grp will come into the role with all these values by default, with this field left blank. Now in this example, we are focusing on the object s_user_pro. Now let's say you have different roles for security admins and user admins that need different activities. To accomplish this, change the default values in SU24 to blank out activity for user_SPR, user_PRO for SU01. Now, let's say you have different security administrators, like people who are doing role administration, people who are doing user administration. Specifically, I mean, people who are doing user administration may not be doing role administration. People who are doing role administration may not be doing user administration. Now, for creating roles or modifying or generating roles or adding roles to the users, you need this object s_user_pro. So user admins may need this object with a specific set of values, and role administrators will need this object with another set of values. Now within SU01, for example, you have a user administrator who can do only password resets and user locks, unlocks. That could be one kind of activity a user admin could be doing. That are help desk people, let's say. You have another set of user administrators who can create user IDs and assign roles to user IDs. Now, when you put SU01, for both these people, all these objects will automatically come into the role. But the help desk guys may not need this object at all. But the actual user administrators will need this object. So, depending on what the task is, the authorizations values for the objects will differ. Now, when the role is put in, when the transaction code is put into the role, for example, SU01, and in this example we are looking at s_user_pro, the default values are 03 and 08. So when you put SU01 into the role, user s_user_pro will come into the role with 03 and blank field value, like this. And the object status here will be standard, and the traffic light status will be yellow because one field is not maintained. Now, because there are different user administrators, and the values for this object will be different, it is not a good idea to manipulate or change the values in the profile generator. So the good practice would be to blank the values for the object in SU24 and then maintain the values in the role. So when you blank the values, when the object comes into the role, it will still come as standard. Now you blank the values because there are multiple kinds of user administrators, and the authorizations for each of them will be different. So the good practice is to blank the values out in SU24 so that you maintain the values as per the authorizations needed in profile generator. Now, you have different object statuses like standard, which means the values are defaulted by what is there in SU24. Another status that you have is changed. So that is, let's say you defaulted the value, you took whatever came via SU24 into the role, and you change that value, in this case like what we have done. Like by default it had come with 03 and 08, the object is underscore user underscore PRO, it had come with 03 and 08, but we changed that to include 01, 02, 04, 06 and 22 also, the values for this field. Now when you do that, when you change the composition of the field, when you change the default sets, default values, then the object status changes to changed. Now what you basically do is you are manually overridden, you are overriding the values brought in from SU24, and that causes the status to be changed from standard. Now, why is this change status bad? Now, it is bad because PFCG and upgrade tools will not work with these at all. Especially this is bad if the object is S underscore T code, meaning you should never ever enter the values into the object S underscore T code, because this S underscore T code object contains the list of transaction codes in the role. So you should not manually add anything to that object. Also, when a T code is removed from the role, PFCG won't determine if this object should also be removed. So if you make a change, let's say if you now in SU20, now you have changed, in this case, let's say for example, what it means is that if I remove SU01 from this role now, the system will not know whether to remove this role or not, this object or not. See, it would remove all these objects because you have not touched them, but it will remove, when you remove SU01, it will remove SS, let's say it removes S underscore user underscore AGR, S underscore user underscore AUT, but it will not know what to do with this object, S underscore user underscore PRO, because you changed this, the default values that came from SU24. Now again, hitting the mountain icon will not indicate which transactions cause these objects to be added to the role, and therefore complicates analysis. So when you click on the mountain icon, usually what should happen is it should tell you which object, when you hit on this mountain icon, the system will tell you which transaction needs this object. Now in this case, because you manipulated the default values, by adding your own set of values. When you click on the mountain icon, it will not tell you whether this object is needed by SU01 or not. So if there is an authorization error or authorization related issues, it becomes a problem for you to perform any kind of analysis. Now again, the biggest problem, third problem is the third one. This case is PFCG will bring the standard values back in again. That is, if you modify this rule the next time, you will have this set of values you'll have this object with this set of values. Also, you have another set of authorization values with this combination 03 and 08. So if the standard isn't as restrictive as you want, this is a dangerous risk for giving too much access by accident with routine role maintenance. So when is a change status okay? It's never okay. So you should never have an object in a change status, because number 3, that is, the PFCG will bring the standard values back again, and if the standard isn't as restrictive as you want, this is a dangerous risk for giving too much access. A manual insert of the object and inactivate this one would be a better one. So which means, let's say you want to have your own set of values like this, what we have done. So instead of maintaining the default values, what you do is, whatever appears by default, you deactivate it by clicking on this icon and insert this object into the role manually and maintain your own values. But never try to avoid changing the default values. That's too much of a risk. Another status that you have for the object is the manual status. This is what we mean, that now why is the manual status bad? Manual status is bad because PFCG and upgrade tools will not work with this at all. Now the same situation what we have for changed, when the transaction codes are removed from the role, the object will be left alone rather than removed. So which means the system will not remove that manually inserted objects. Because why? Because when you hit the mountain icon, it's not going to know, the system is not going to indicate which transaction caused these objects to be added to the role. So when you click on the mountain icon, again you would not know which transaction code needs the object. So when is the manual status okay? It is okay when the system requires it. For example, in BW, all the required objects are inserted into the role manually. So in such a situation, manual status for an object is okay. And when roles for support staff needs values for transaction codes, but you want SU24 to reflect different values needed for end user roles. So be sure to inactivate the standard values from the object that come in from SU24 for these. So when you have multiple kinds of roles, people needing the same transaction code but different authorizations, in that case you can either blank out the values in SU24 or insert the object into the role manually and maintain the values, like in this case. Now in this case it defaulted with 03 and 08, but you didn't want that, so you by clicking on this inactivate icon, you deactivate the object and insert that object again manually and maintain your own values. In that case, it's okay. Or if you need multiple occurrences to accommodate different or combination values for a single T code, you may have to do a copy. So you can have a copy icon and maintain multiple occurrences for the authorizations for that object. So another status that you have is maintained. So you had changed, you have manual, and now you have maintained. Now, so how do you make sure that you keep your object statuses to be standard or maintained? So you have to ensure that you only populate fields that are empty. In this case, 03 and 08 for this object s underscore user underscore pro were defaulted, but the profile field was not defaulted and you maintained it. So if you want to keep the object status as maintained, then you should never touch the default field values. So, and maintain only the field values for which there are no values proposed. So basically when it appears, this object status will be in the yellow traffic light, and then you maintain the values for the fields which do not have any values. So in that case, the object status will be maintained. And if you look at it in the color also, it will be, the field that you have maintained will be in dark blue. When you get an SU53, always find out what transaction they were doing, the user was executing, and see if you need to fix SU24 first. This also means you will have better information from the mountain icon as to why objects and values are in the roles. So what it means is that in a role, as much as possible, you should have the object statuses as either maintained or standard. And if there is anything that is needed, you first have to use SU24 as much as possible, so that the relationship between the transaction code and the objects can be displayed when you click on the mountain icon, and that helps in performing your analysis of the role. So how do you fix the changes that you make in SU24? So what you do is you basically go into, when you make a changes to SU24, if you want those changes to get reflected into the role, then you go to the authorization tab. In the authorization tab, click on the expert mode for profile generation. They get a box called define maintenance type. In that, you select the read all status and merge with new data. So when you do that, the new values will be reflected into the role. Or what you could do is you deactivate the objects that are not needed, or the values that are needed, and insert the role object into the role manually and maintain the field values. Now, when you deactivate an object, don't delete them, because the next time when you read maintain the authorizations, the system will pull whatever is there in SU24 again. So don't deactivate. Once you deactivate a standard object, in this case, for example, don't delete them by clicking on the delete icon, because next time when you modify the role, it will reappear again. And inactivate the redundant tokenizers of objects to simplify analysis. When a lot of versions come in for a lot of different transaction codes, so avoid as much redundancies as possible for the authorizations. So what is in summary, what it means is that in SU24, you basically, whatever you want to be to come up in profile generator while maintaining a role, whether it is adding a transaction code, whether it's removing a transaction code, whether you want to change the authorizations for objects, those changes should be made in SU24. And first link of object is an object related thing, then you maintain the link between the objects and the transaction code in SU24. If it is values, then you maintain the values in SU24 for the objects and blank them if you want, if the transaction code is needed for different purposes, for different kinds of people, then blank the values out in SU24. You should avoid objects which change statuses, and you should also have minimal manual inserts. You should avoid having too many objects into the role which are manually inserted, and deactivate or inactivate redundant or unwanted standard objects instead of deleting them, because if you delete them, when you modify the role again the next time, those objects will appear again. So if you don't want something, deactivate it and keep it just like that, don't delete them. So the changes that you make in SU24 in summary, in short, is that the changes that you make in SU24 reflects or affects what comes up in the roles in the profile generator, and these help in maintaining in proper maintenance of the roles and analysis of the roles in case of any kind of issues. So whenever you want an object in a role, ensure that that object is linked to the transaction code in SU24. If you want a particular set of values to come up into the role, then ensure that you first make the changes, the authorization values changes in SU24, so that you don't have to make those changes again and again if the transaction code appears in multiple roles. And if the transaction code appears in multiple roles and you need different values, then it's better that you blank those values out in SU24.